Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are, whenever you are. Thank you for watching this video. You're here with the real fake Satoshi, Davinci Jeremy, and we have Inti here. He's going to be, looking in the chat room for questions to ask me later on in the show. Say hi to everybody, Inti.
Hello, everybody.
Wave hi because they can see you.
Hello, people.
Alrighty then. Yeah. So today's show, we're going to be talking about quite a few topics today. We're going to be first thing, the main topic is of course, I'm gonna get into it like a big trade. I'm gonna take this trade all the way to 11K, and we're gonna talk a little bit about that and why the reasons why for taking this trade and so forth. And so yeah, we're gonna have some fun with that. And not suggesting that you guys take the trade, right? But that's what I'm doing, right? So yeah, and then we're also gonna be talking about the coronavirus, right? Maybe it's the snowflake that causes a dollar collapse, which I predicted for either March or September timeframe. So who knows? It might. This trade might turn into something huge, right? If the dollar collapses at the same time. There's going to be no end to the fall of the dollar, and you're going to see Bitcoins go absolutely nuts, right? Also, I want to point out that a lot of the altcoins are like ready to like they're simmering kernels in a pot, right? And they're gonna start popping off like popcorn, right? And we're gonna see some huge fireworks. Nothing like 2017 to the end of 2000 to the beginning of 2018, but we will see some sort of movements in the altcoin space. Um, Also, I'd like to talk about ransomware and how to avoid falling victim to ransomware. I sometimes often think, how do people get ransomware on their systems? And well, you know what, a lot of people do get fall victim to easily to spot scams, and so obviously it's easy for them to get fall victim to ransomware, and I want to point out how to avoid that. Yeah, so that's what we're going to be talking about for today. So let's get started with today's main topic, which is right here. What I'm talking, the Bitcoin price. Well, first let's talk a little bit about the Bitcoin price. It's looking good on the CME futures. I don't like the fact that the CME futures is like most of the time dictating where the direction of price is. I mean, that's like saying, hey, you know what? I'm going to create a widget. I'm not going to actually bake the widget. I'm just going to sell you the promise to give you the widget, and the widget never exists. And you're going to trade that between you and somebody else. The promise to get you a widget that will never exist. That's what the futures market is. The cash settle futures market effectively is. Now, honestly, should it be illegal? Should it not exist? I'm not gonna say that. I'm not gonna say it should be illegal, but it does negatively affect the underlying price of Bitcoin, because all this money, that's speculative money, that would have went into Bitcoin, which caused the price to go higher, is not going there. So it's going to this particular asset, which has nothing to do with the price of Bitcoin. It doesn't affect the price of Bitcoin effectively, and so and yet it's dictating the price. And that's what happens in the gold market as well, because it's just it's not really what the price should be in the gold and silver market. And most markets are like that. The future markets, they're pretty much like a fraud. And the reason is that you can't get delivery for gold or silver. It's possible, but it's very, very difficult under the futures market. So anyways, let me digress and continue on with topic, right? You can see that Bitcoin like bounced off the 13 EMA, right? We're above the ribbon, and we're poised to go higher. We're above the 200-day moving average. We retested the 200-day moving average on the futures market. So this looks very, very bullish. So I think it's good enough to take a trade on this for that reason.
Hey, shout out to Crypto that's paying us a
Oh.
visit on the
Hey,
live chat.
Crypto, thank you for showing up today, and hopefully we can do a video later on. Yeah, so with that said, let's move on to some of the prices, what I want to do with my trade. So what I'm looking at, right, is the continuation trade here, which is basically, let's see if I can get this thing to work for me, my Fibs, and the 38.2. I really think that we're going to bounce off the 38.2 right from here, from this big move up here. I really think we're going to bounce off that 38.2. And let me see if I can zoom in so that you guys can see that. Right there. You can see the 38.2 is right here. So I'm gonna take a little bit of an entry just before that, just in case it doesn't come all the way down. I can always take my stop loss, move my stop loss down here, which would be fine at 61.8. But I'm gonna move it all the way to this last wick, so that, you know what, I got a lot of space, right? So the market could bounce, come all the way to 61.8 if I'm wrong, and then bounce off of that. And that's not a bad. There's a lot of traffic here. A lot of buyers will probably buy this up and hold the line well before the 78.6 or even my stop loss. So I think this is a good risk trade here, where the risk to reward ratio is nice. You can take this. I'm going to take this trade and see what it does for me. I'm hoping it draws out a little bit, something a little bit more to give me a little bit more confidence in this trade. We are a little bit on the high side, but I'm willing to accept the risk on this trade. I think that the Bitcoin is poised to go a lot higher, because of a lot of fundamental events, and people like the people who are in the industry, the people like the banking industry and the what's it called, the stocks and commodities and brokerages and stuff like that. They've all piled into this. They all now have drank the Kool-Aid, and they're with us. They're with and they're going to push this on the market. I get the feeling that they're going to during the halving, they are going to push this to the masses like crazy, so that they can profit as they dump it down after the halving. I really think that's what's going to happen in the next little while. So, yeah, that's what I think, and I have this trade inside the description, link in the description below. So check that out if you're interested in looking at this trade. Again, if you guys do take this trade on Bybit, please do not risk more than if you feel any amount of money that you want to put on this, to bet on this. If you feel that, just consider that money got lost, right? And if you think about it, say, okay, I'm going to lose. Let's just say you want to put $1,000 on this trade. I'm going to lose $1,000. How do you feel about that? Just say that. It's just going to happen. Absolutely. And if you feel you can't lose at $1,000, it's too much, right? It should be like $10 or $50 or. And then, you know what, if you have like a lot of Bitcoins, of course, you could always use my link for Bybit link and they get $400, and just use that. Use the $400 that they give you, right? And trade that. And that's nothing. That's not money. That's found money that they're going to give you, right? You could trade your $400 on this trade, and you got zero risk. Zero. So there you go. You got a nice trade. You got zero risk, and there you go. And then you don't have to worry about, not being able to pay rent next month. So yeah.
Some people were asking you to specify the levels, because from the phone they cannot see the
Okay,
price.
yeah, that's a good point. my entry level is approximately $9,888. Approximately, you can go. It should be somewhere in there, and I'm thinking about maybe even like spreading out the buy orders so that I sprinkle the buy orders all the way down, 50% on above it, 50% below it, my entry point, so that I average out. Because like lately, I just been like, okay, this is where my entry point is, and then I wait, and then I never don't make it. Okay, oh, this is my next entry point for the next trade, and it doesn't come. Like for example, I tried to short from up here, but it was my entry point was 9,300 almost, and it didn't quite there. And then I wanted to go long up down here, but my entry point was $8,100, and what happened? It didn't. We didn't get that long trade. So, I mean, lately I just haven't been able to get in on some of my trades that I was looking at, and so this is a nice one. I don't want to miss this one, so I put this a little bit higher than the 38.2. But yeah, I get the feeling that I might get. I'm looking at this chart, and I have to accept the fact that I might not get in on this trade. So I'm thinking maybe to get a little bit of money on this trade, I might just spread out my points. And then the stop loss, right, is at the bottom down here at 82.12. So you could just put it like, for example, at 82.10 or something like that, so that you get a couple ticks to save you. Maybe the market just goes close to the stop loss and then bounces off. So yeah, that's what I'm looking for. I think I might have to redraw this on Bybit, because of course Bybit is a different chart and prices and so forth. So I might do exactly that. Now, let's head over to what I've noticed in the altcoins. Have you noticed that a lot of the altcoins, the volumes are just coming in? I mean, look at this thing. I mean, wow, you got a nice W, right? If you forget this wick here, this crazy wick, you got a nice W, popped right off. And then look, the volume just like, what the heck? People are wanting to buy this thing like crazy. Again, another chart here, which I think I shared in the description, link in the description below. Look at this volume. Oh my God, I've never seen anything like this. 40 million on average per day here. Now we're averaging per day 40 million on this coin. That's sick. That's absolutely sick. That's higher than any other time on this coin. It's this Ion. I don't know what the hell this thing is, but it doesn't matter. What the point is, right? This thing looks ready to rock, ready to rumble. Could it roll over and die? Yes, it can. But, the probabilities of that happening with all this forcible buying coming in is really low. So, yeah, you got a nice trade here. If you got you want to throw a little bit of fun money on this thing and see what happens, right? Yeah. Another coin right here is just starting. I don't know what the heck this is, but if you go down to the lower time frames, right, you can see, volume coming in again. Something's up, something's brewing across the altcoin space, and that's positive for any altcoin investors out there. Look for some doubles in Bitcoin. I mean altcoins where you can get some serious money. Just buying low and selling half on a double, right? Like the little old lady style, right? Alrighty, so let's head on to the coronavirus. The coronavirus infection exceeds 2003 SARS outbreak. I remember that SARS outbreak. Everybody in Toronto was like freaking out, and nobody was going anywhere to restaurants or anything. And movies, and it was crazy. And yet this seems a little bit worse. 213 confirmed dead. Wow, that's a lot of people so far. In the grand scheme of things, no. But come on, if somebody yeah, it's tragic, and you don't want that to happen. But I don't think we should all go into panic mode because of this disease. The odds are, even if you do catch it, you're not going to die, right? You're going to survive this pandemic, as the odds are. So you don't have to worry about it. But the problem
I'm
is,
suffering a lot of pain too.
yeah, you do have to suffer through a lot of pain with a flu because it's not fun. I had a flu recently, and man, oh my God, it was horrible. I could not move. I was like immobilized. So yeah, it's not fun. You don't want to catch this, but at the same time, don't treat it like, oh my God, the world's coming to an end. Yeah, could it affect a global trade in a negative sense? Yes, it can. Yes, it will be. Yes, it can affect the market, and then the market is the only thing that's keeping the U.S. dollar alive. And so, if the market collapses, we may see basically the dollar start its crumble. Now, of course, what's the scary thing about this dollar collapse is that it's not going to happen exactly the way you think. Um, the dollar will actually go up in value before it actually collapses, and you're like, what? How's that possible? Well, the thing is, before you can buy anything else, right? You have to sell your other assets, and when you sell your other assets, what are you selling it to? Um, Dollars. So, so you're effectively buying dollars, and when you're buying dollars, you're going to increase the value of the dollar. So yeah, look for that. Bonds will get wrecked, absolutely get wrecked, and that's how you'll know that the dollar collapse is imminent. If bonds are getting wrecked and the dollar is increasing in value, a lot of people, a lot of those CNBCers will go, well, obviously there's nothing wrong with the dollar, and so people are just getting the safe haven with the negative interest rates and stuff like that. But no, don't fall for that crap. Okay, that is basically the effect of a supernova occurring, right? Where you're thinking, oh wait, the sun's shrinking, so that means it's not going to explode. No, that's not the case, right? So, anyways, moving right on. The department, what's it called? The 50% of the U.S. Departments fell victim to ransomware in 2019. This report says. Wow. Yeah. You know what? I honestly, you know what? I'm going to take a sip of my coffee. Hang on a second. Coffee, black, no sugar, no cream. That's how I take it. That's my favorite. So if we ever meet up for coffee, that's how I drink it. Yeah. So I can't believe people fall for ransomware and get caught up in ransomware. But I want to do a little service announcement for all the people who are watching this video, how to avoid that. I see it. People send me emails all the time with some sort of link, some sort of image, video, or something like that, or some sort of application to download and try. And I go, yeah, okay, that's not happening, right? I don't trust anything that comes through email, and so and then when it does come through, sometimes I just go, okay, you know what? I'm gonna ask that person, what the heck are they doing? Did you send me this message? And it turns out 95% of the time they did not send me an application or a link or whatever. And so that's how the malware gets into your system, right? Just avoid all that and not run anything. Don't go to any kind of website that somebody sends you to watch some crazy video or something like that. Avoid that, and then you won't have to worry about the ransomware, because you don't have to worry about giving up some of your bitcoins in order to gain access to your computer again. Um, it boggles my mind how people are getting caught by this thing uh, over and over again. Just don't open attachments. Don't open up applications, links to an application, and run them unless you verify with your with somebody who does know about computers and systems that this is safe, right? So just hold off, right? You can wait another day to see, these cute little kittens that this link has promised you. You can wait a day for that, okay? And ask around to see if it's BS or not. All right. With that said, let's head over to the blog on DaVinciCodes.net. I've noticed that there's not a lot of views here, and I'd really like everybody to check out Carolina's blog and give her some love there, give her some likes and stuff like that, and check out her writings. Right, so it's really interesting. Alrighty. So if you've been I've noticed there's only 48 likes and 357 people. I would really like this video to go up a little bit in the like category. So if you haven't done so, right, please hit the like button. If you haven't hit the subscribe or the bell icon below, please do so. Right, this really helps out the channel and helps promote the channel, and also, you know what? When I get that kind of love, right, I want to do more videos for you. So, alrighty. With that said, let's talk. Let's get to the question and answer period. Inti, you got anything for us?
Yes.
I didn't see much in the chat room, but then again, you know what? I have been busy looking at the screen, so I haven't had a chance to look at the chat screen.
People usually ask a lot of good questions when we are writing this section, so
All right.
let's begin. So this is from Yulija Petina,
Mm-hmm.
and asks Davinci, can you tell who is the biggest bull in the market? Is the government, FRS, who?
Who's the biggest bull in the market? Meaning the person who's actually buying. I would say the people who are buying are industry players. They've been buying all along since 2014, but the real people who are pushing this market up are the deep pockets who don't who FOMO. Right now, I get people who want to buy 2 or 3 Bitcoin from me, and they only buy when the prices are up. And so, but they have deep pockets. These are rich, super rich people with deep pockets, and they didn't do any research on how to buy the markets. They don't buy down markets. They buy up markets. And so there's a lot more people like that than you think that are out there. Especially when you consider how much actual cash is out in circulating in the world. There's a lot of money, a lot more money than you think circulating in the world. And so with that said, there's a lot more dumb money circulating in the world that are willing to buy markets going up and not buy markets going down. Even though, we know where Bitcoin's ending up. So it doesn't matter if you buy it at a discount and then it continues going down. Great, you got more discount, right? So you have to plan your buys and buy it like that. Buy dollar cost average, or keep buying whenever you see a discount. That's it. All right, next question.
This is from Adita Bimoli,
Mm-hmm.
and asks Davinci, double bottom on BSV again on daily chart. Take a look. Money.
You know what? I did look at BSV. It didn't look so good. But then again, you know what? We'd have to wait and see. Let me just see if I can pull up the chart here on BSV just for you. BSV. Oops, I don't want to click that. BSV. Let's see here. Who should we use for BSV? Bittrex. BTC. Because you know what? Notice how I never go to the dollar value. Practically never go to the dollar value unless I'm forced to do so. Why is that? Because if I believe that Bitcoin's a currency, then that's the only thing I'm concerned about is how many Bitcoins I got, not how many dollars I have, which I know are going to go to zero, right? So I'm interested in how many Bitcoins I have, how much gold I have, how many gold ounces I have. I don't consider my wealth based in dollars. I consider my wealth based in assets that are real, tangible, and are going to do well in the future. So with that said, let's take a look at the price here. This does not look good at all for BSV. What we've got here, you might think this looks like a bearish flag, but it's not bull flag, but it's not. It's actually, I would consider this a falling triangle here, right here. That's going to end with the continuation of the downtrend. This is normal. This is not the end of BSV, unfortunately. Right? What we could see here from the takeoff point, we could come all the way back down to 78.6, where we last took off, or even as low as the 88.6, because that's probably the most likely scenario from this pump of metals. Yeah, look at that. Oh my God. 88.6 is screaming for this, and you can see that the 200-day moving average is where the 88.6 is going to meet, and so I would not be surprised if this comes back to the 200-day moving average and meets up with the 88.6 before we see it take off again. So I would not be in a hurry to buy this thing. Could it just only come down to the 61.8? Yes. You might want to, if you want to take a little bit of a risk trade, but I would not because of this huge candlestick. I would at least wait for the 78.6 to take any kind of risk trade on this particular asset because of everything that's setting up here. I don't see that this thing can hold up. We're not above the 13 EMA. We're falling below it, and yeah, this looks very, very weak. And it might not pop off until like maybe April before we see this thing go, okay, it's time to go, right? Yeah, so you might have to wait a little bit of time. That's okay. The little lady always gets paid eventually. If you were to buy some, if you bought some in here looking to get profits, and you're in the red, you could either dump some of it right now, or you can hold off and sell half on a double, because this thing probably going to go a lot higher, unfortunately. Okay, next question.
Next question. This is from Alex Crypto and asks, everyone is aware of halving FOMO. The price will shoot up before halving, then dump after halving. Do you still think that halving FOMO would still work this time?
Having FOMO. You know what? I was going to talk about the halving, and I totally forgot. I had some information up on that, and let's go back to that actually. Right. Let's talk about the halving. So, what is the halving? Before we assume that everybody here understands what the halving. When Satoshi Nakamoto invented Bitcoins, he wanted to have the inflation rate be fixed, and reduce the amount of Bitcoins over time until the point of there's be no more Bitcoins being produced. So he came up with this method that every 4 years, approximately, the amount of Bitcoins that will be produced will be cut in half. Now, the reason why it's approximate is because all the machines, what they do is they come and when your computer goes and mines Bitcoins, it's basically guessing what a number is, and sometimes it guesses them faster. As more machines come on, they guess them faster, or sometimes even by randomly can get them faster over a course of time. And so effectively, the first happening, and let me just move my image here a little bit so that you guys can see this, right? The first halving occurred. Let me zoom this in a little bit more. Occurred November 12th, right? And you can see, since Bitcoin was born, basically Jan 3rd, 2009, you would expect, if it was like absolute fixed system and not based on any kind of randomness, it would have actually been, January 3rd, 2013. But instead, that first halving occurred November 12th, November 2012, and you can see here. I remember that time. Bitcoin was not doing anything. It was like $11 or something like that. And I was like, okay, I guess Bitcoin was going to take its time to go up, right? And eventually, of course, it did skyrocket into April. But as you can see, right, here's where it came, and then obviously, you know what, you'd expect it. Okay, well, 4 years from now, from the 2012, we should get Bitcoin's happening around the same time. No, notice how it's like shortened. It's because, right, as more miners come in, they shorten the time frame. It tries to adjust every 2 weeks, but that doesn't adjust it so that the 4 years occurs exactly on time. What it tries to adjust is that only 10 minutes that blocks will be coming out every 10 minutes, and not, okay, well, you know what, the halving is going to be in 4 years, so I'm going to readjust for that. I'm going to make mining difficult for enough so that it's exactly on 4 years. No, it doesn't care. The system is not designed that way. It's designed to readjust so that the emittance is every 10 minutes every 2 weeks, and approximately every 2 weeks. And so so that's not. It's never going to be accurate. So that's why we're going to have a movement in the time frame when the halving occurs, and we're looking at the halving coming a little bit earlier, like on the 3rd of May, but it really doesn't matter when it happens, right? We just know that it's going to happen within an average of 4 years, and I think we're going to see something different this time. I really get this feeling because of who's involved now with the Bitcoin space. Very bad actors, in my opinion. The mainstream media and large corporations who will push this onto the public at the wrong time, and only to dump it on them and have them walk away and sell them the Bitcoins back to them at a cheap price. It's unfortunate. This is how the market goes. But hopefully, you know what, there's enough of us out there who have enough dry powder, who are working at jobs. Once they do dump the price, they can't dump it that far, and we are like dollar casting the snot out of this and watching Bitcoins and buying up the Bitcoins ahead of the industry players in front of them and front running them. So yeah, that would get them really pissed off, actually. If it's us that's buying the Bitcoins as they dump it. So that'd be funny, but I doubt that, because most people I hear when Bitcoin's going down, it's like, oh my God, I shouldn't have bought this thing. Yeah, so that's the case. So, anyways, yeah, it looks like I think Bitcoin is going to be definitely it's going to be a bull run on the other side of the halving, one way or another. Right, so even if they dump it on the halving, that's not going to be the end of Bitcoin. It's not going to take a very long time for it to come back up. So don't worry about the dump. Just buy, buy the dip from the dips that sell. Right, that's that. Yeah. Alrighty. Next question.
Next question. Let's see. Okay, this is from Tesfaye Mengistu, and ask, where do you see gold and silver prices this year? For example, gold to 5K or silver to 150. And how do you diversify your portfolio between gold, silver, and crypto or other assets you have? What do you think about one third? This is a triple question. One third each equality distributing.
I think every person has their own requirements for or their own basically how they see the markets basically. I do not. I see the market like for example the stock market. I don't have any stocks. I look at the stock market. I look at the systems. I remember I was in the stock market for a while, and I constantly got notices that I was getting a check because the company did some sort of criminal thing against me, and I didn't even know. And and on top of that, I don't have access to owning the stocks. Somebody else owns them, and I realized that this is all a scam. Now, getting to back to your point, right? Your question basically is that everybody has their own goes through their life and comes up with their own conclusions. Through my life, I came up with the conclusion that gold, physical assets, is where to go. Things that you hold, things that you possess yourself, not somebody else, is the way to go. And so for me, I think percentage of gold and silver, and I think for at first I was 100% gold and silver and nothing else. I wasn't looking at anything else. Only because not only that I don't want to own stocks because the government will know that you own them and want to take your money eventually when they realize they don't have any more money. Yeah, I wanted to stay away from anything that would have to be registered as well, because because I know the government's going to be draconian once their fiat money system goes to zero. They're going to have to come in to get your money. They're going to, period, in order to survive. So I don't want them to take my money, right? That's why I want assets that they can't seize. Now, what I think as the price for this year, I don't think we're going to see anything major. We might see, I would say, we may if we're very very lucky, near the end of the year, see big gold and silver at new all time highs. I don't think silver, right? I really don't. I think silver will be the last to go, the absolute last to go, because they have to keep that thing low, because then it will definitely call into question the whole financial system, and they can't have that. I think they're really scared of silver, the banking system. They know their history. They know what happens if silver gets out of control, so they can't let that happen until the very, very end. Um, as for your portfolio allocation size, for me, it's 10%. The reason why it wasn't 10% before is because I'd rather have these risk assets, which is crypto, over gold, which is very safe. It's super safe. It's like basically if we had real money, gold would be the super safe money that you would store to protect yourself. And so for me, a cash position, it's basically the cash position for me. And so a 10% cash position is all you really need to protect yourself on a daily for if you're investing. If you're retiring again, that's a different status. I think personally you should be a 90% gold and not 10% gold, like I am, and that's a safe. That's a safe bet. That's the safest bet you're gonna get right out there. I would not go anywhere near any kind of stocks or bonds, obviously. As for crypto for your retirement, that's just redonkulous, if you ask me, because you need that money. And if you need the money, then it's the wrong trade. You should not be gambling money that you need right now for survival. And gambling, and it's a big gamble if you hold it in dollars and if you hold it in bonds or the stock market. It's just they're just all those things are overvalued as well, and I think they're really scam, and I think the government's gonna come and get it all. So yeah, that's my point. Sure. Let's see here. Adler, he's gave me $4. Thank you for the coffee. Show this man Dav some love. Yes. Where's my likes, man? Show me some love by hitting the like button, please, and hitting the subscribe and the bell icon. The bell icon. You know what? I think that bell icon is a scam. They just want to see how well you guys like a particular channel by hitting both the subscribe and the bell icon. I think YouTube's using that as some sort of algorithm. It doesn't do anything for me. When I click on it, for some people, for videos that I've subscribed to, it's like I don't get any extra notification. It's just like weird. But anyways, I think that's it's just to see if you guys really 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 like the channel or something like that, or you will, or channels are actually live and real, because then you are actually taking action for that channel. So I think that's probably why they have the bell icon. So click it, right? Click it. Alrighty. So next question.
Next question. So this is from Georgi Gospodinov and ask, hey Davinci, could you please explain more about Pandora's wallet? Where are those private keys stored? And can the government shut your server down and access to Pandora's wallet be lost?
Okay, that's a good question. Yeah, at this point, the government can try and shut down my servers, and your private keys are on your computer, so you don't have to worry about that. I don't. There's nothing that the government or anybody can do. If somebody hacks our NIST system, nobody has access to your money. All right, here in our offices or on our servers around the world. Now, it's really simple. There is a settings button, and then you can see the private key for your address. Now, the hard part is actually taking that money out using that private key. You can download the software of that particular cryptocurrency, and then input the private key there, and then you get access to your money again. It's not. It's a little bit of work, but of course, if it ever comes down to that, we will do videos and stuff like that, showing you how to get access to your money. And so, again, so don't worry about it. It's not a problem. You have access to your money at all times. So yeah, nothing to worry about there. We will be doing a promotion video with Pandora's wallet, and I'm going to be showing you how the little old lady style works, because I think with all the cryptocurrencies popping off, we're going to Pandora's wallet is going to be showcased with lots of sell halves on the double. So I'm looking forward to that, and doing some videos with that as the altcoins go crazy and start going. We're getting doubles left, right, and center, and Pandora's wallet selling half on a double. So yeah, thank you for that question. Okay, one more question, and then we're gonna call it a day.
Okay, so this is a debt I have. This is with Summer Lily. She asked, can you give your thoughts on the Dow Gold ratio, please?
Oh, the Dow Gold ratio.
Yeah, this is a Brian's question.
Exactly. Basically, the Dow Gold ratio is when you divide gold, divide the price of the Dow by the price of gold, and then you see what happens. And let's you know what? Since I have my computer systems here, right? Let's see that in action. All right. First off, let me just go new chart layout. And then that's an interesting question. And let's just see how I'm going to change the background because this is like really bright and you guys can't really see that. Settings, background, black. Okay. Okay, so let's see. Dow Jones. There we go. I think that's the Dow Industrial Average. No. Oh Jesus. Okay, Dow Inc.
Oh, so we have two donations. One from Ahmed Wadi. Thank you, Davinci J15. Thank you, man. From T Euros, and this is from TW, and says lunch with your coffee. Any thoughts on the DeFi network?
DGI. Okay. Sorry, on the what?
On the DeFi network.
Okay, you know what? We have to finish with this question first.
Yeah, I know. But I just wanted to thank the people that donate.
Okay, yeah. We'll have to get back on. Oh, thank you for the $20.
I'm going to save that question though, so
And
don't
we'll
worry,
save that question
TW.
for next time.
I'm going to save it for the next stream.
GOLD. Let's see here if that does it. Divided by gold. Yes. Come on. Alrighty. There we go. There's the Dow gold ratio. So right now, 18 ounces of gold can buy the Dow. Normally, when this goes back to 1, this is basically when the market is at the absolute bottom for a large cycle, right? We have like large cycles. This has been won several times in the history of mankind. Oh, well, in the history of this Dow Jones, basically. Not mankind. But let's just see if we can go to a monthly. Right, and see if we can go back that far, right? As you can see, when it was like at 6 down here, I mean 6 ounces, that was a real low for the for the Dow Jones Industrial Average. Because if you measure it in real money, right, you can see when it's really overvalued and when it's really undervalued. And we can't go back any further. That sucks, because you can see in 1980 it hit 1-to-1. Same with the at the end of the depression, it hit 1-to-1. And yeah, so you can see that during generational issues, right? We'll go back to 1-to-1, and that would be the bottom for stocks. And it's a great indicator of market strength. Right, I can see that this thing's going to be rolling over. Like, we take a look at this. Oh my goodness. Right, even though the stock market is at an all-time high and going higher, priced in gold, this is like, yeah, we're going down. Now you could say, hey, you know what, Davinci, this looks more like a bull flag than a collapse of the price. And yeah, you could be right. Yeah, so we can say, yeah, this looks like a bull flag, because look, it ran up and now it's just consolidating down. But you know what I always say, right? That if the market smiles at you, it's getting ready to take your money. So I think this breakdown here, if we break this level down here, those candle bodies down here, I think it's look out below, and we're going straight down. And I wouldn't be surprised when that happens. I think we're gonna go to the 1-to-1 sometime in the next 2 or 3 years, or even less. Yeah, so that's my take on the Dow gold ratio. Thank you everyone for watching this videos, and we're going to see you guys next week, maybe next week Monday, and hopefully see you on the MM Crypto show. Say goodbye to everybody, Inti.
Goodbye, everybody.
And yeah, if you haven't seen the video popping up right here, please check it out. All right, take it easy. Can't stop the